Welcome back, everybody, to the Pushing the Pace podcast with myself, as always, Elias, my co-host Samuel, and today a very special guest, our good friend Daye. We are here today, a very packed episode. I am very excited for this one. The trade deadline has came and went. It started off a week ago. We could have made a podcast that was 5 minutes because there was absolutely nothing to talk about.
Yes.
Then James Harden decided to change it up. The Wizards decided to change it up. And we got a few good trades, I think. You know, nothing as crazy as last year with a whole 77 going to the Lakers, but definitely some fun, interesting trades. Some people who didn't do anything that is interesting. Timeout.
Why are we talking about that, man?
We didn't have a pod last week, you know. We didn't. If we had a pod last week on the day, the 1 year anniversary, we could have went over it then. But now we got to bring it up again here and there. But yeah, we got lots of trades. I don't know which one you guys want to start off first. I was thinking maybe James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Clippers getting back Darius Garland, and the Clippers also making another trade that we'll talk about in a bit with Zubac to the Pacers. But I mean, this is the one that really kicked off this week. A report on, I believe it was Tuesday night or Monday night, where it was just like, wow. All of a sudden, James Harden is reporting that he wants to get traded, and immediately the number one candidate was the Cleveland Cavaliers for Darius Garland. And then the trade went through, and then the next day, the Clippers and Cavs played each other in LA, which I thought was very interesting and funny. But yeah, guys, what are your initial thoughts? It's been a couple days now. All the Clippers season has been erratic. What are you guys thinking about this trade?
Let's let Daye go first. Guest gets first dibs on this.
I think I'm gonna be the boring one here because I want to talk about the other side of this trade. I'll let you guys handle the Harden aspect of it. For me,
I'm
the
ready.
far more interesting aspect of this deal is the return being Darius Garland and a future second round pick. Um, the Darius Garland stock has just never been lower. I don't know if you guys remember, but last year, Garland was the conductor of what is now being dubbed one of the best offenses of all time, with the 24-25 Cavs, which were the one seed last season, and unfortunately could not make it to the finals. But this was a very deep roster. So it was spearheaded by Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen. They acquired DeAndre Hunter at the trade deadline, and to get to this point now with Garland, where he is the make weight that gets Harden to Cleveland, just feels insane to me because if you if you were dialed in with a lot of like the Cavs fandom, this is a guy that people were saying, he's gonna be a Cav for life. Like this is a guy that we want in our city forever. So for him to now be here, and a lot of it had to do with the injuries and the very inconsistent play of the Cavs this season, for them to push the full reset button and decide, we're all in now, and we're not even talking about like it was Garland in the second. Like this is the kind of equity we're talking about now, where I all due respect to Darius Garland, I do not think he's James Harden, particularly in the regular season. We can come on to it in the postseason. It is like crazy to me that we're talking about a guy who was an all-star last season. Is one of the bright point guards in his age group. For him to now be the guy that goes the other way to get Harden to Cleveland, I don't know. It's a very insane like 12 or so months for us to have gotten to this point. And I just wanted to see what you guys' thoughts were on that aspect because I know we're going to focus a lot on the headline of this deal.
Yeah. Sam, if you want to go on that, I have thoughts about that as well. We'll get to the Harden of it.
You can go. You can go.
I'll go. I think that this says a lot about Darius Garland, especially from the Cavs. Like, this is a team who drafted him, who, helped build a roster around him, Evan Mobley. And to just completely, but almost disregard him. I mean, they have the ability, they know his medical history and his health and stuff like that. The fact that he was out with his foot injury and came back and injured his other foot, this just seems like a team that has absolutely no confidence in him being healthy, at least for this season, for this potential playoff run at all, and decided, hey, we're we'd rather trade to make a 10-year difference between James Harden and Darius Garland. We're fine with whatever future we have with Darius Garland being gone if we can have some type of availability and like just a player who actually plays games, because Garland's biggest issue this year is the fact that he just does not play games, has been injured so much. And I don't know if you saw the report about Donovan Mitchell maybe not wanting to sign an extension going forward if they have an early playoff exit again. I think that type of pressure is what really pushed them to make this decision. And like me and Sam have talked before that like for the Cavs this year, it's finals or bust. We've already talked about how like we don't believe this team will come back next year if some type of, if they don't make the finals or the conference finals or something like that. So, this version of the team did feel like inevitable it was going to be gone one day. But the fact that they just have no confidence in Darius Garland at all with his health, and we'd rather trade for James Harden in the middle of the season, it really is one of the biggest shockers of the year.
All I have to say, one of the things I have to say about Garland is, sometimes certain things just happen that is recurring. And you just have to ask yourself, you have to put yourself you have to think outside the box. Bro, what are you doing with your toe, bro? What are you doing with your toe out there? Like, what exactly?
What shoes are you wearing?
No, I'm not even talking about shoes right now. I'm talking about what are you doing when you're outside that facility? Like, what are you doing on your days off with that toe? Because, brother, you've had this toe injury for pretty much like a year now.
Didn't it happen in the playoffs last year?
I'm like,
I don't know. It's crazy how long it's been.
When he came with Zion, when he came with the Grizzlies, when he came with his, they're not living life right out there. You're not doing something you're doing out there is not in the Bible. Or if it was in the Bible, it was absolutely condemned. That's all I'm saying. But my point of everything is, I find this crazy. I absolutely find it crazy. Why? What is the... Okay, if I put this scenario with you, you guys are pressured by Donovan Mitchell not wanting to sign again if you guys don't make it to the play. You don't go far in the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. I think this lane you've gone could still get you back to that same point. Like, I feel this lane the decision making is weird to me because we've not been making it far in the playoffs. We've been having crash outs. We've not been hitting our expectations, and you went to give your life to James Harden. Like that's the person you chose to take you out of to take you to the promised land. That is the guy. The guy that sees a lot of ghosts in the playoff is the man, the 38-year-old James Harden or 37-year-old
36. Only 10 years older.
Sorry. My apologies. Right? 36-year-old James Harden is the person you are choosing as your solution for Donovan Mitchell putting you on pressure or under pressure if you guys don't go far. That is, as I said, that is a choice. And I'm going to leave it at that. For Garland, a 26-year-old point guard, and as Daye said, one of the best players at his position at that age. I don't see any reason why you can't be patient and see how he heals his toe. I don't see any reason why you can't be patient.
I think there's a clear reason if they don't expect him to be healthy for this season. I think they're really thinking about it in like this season lens. So if they don't believe he'll be healthy for the playoffs.
Okay, and I'm just saying to now make a 1-year punt to get... This is a revolving door in terms of, are we going to be surprised in 2 years that they've still not hit their expectations and James Harden is asking out or wanting another contract? And who are they going to trade? Who is trading James Harden for what? Where you getting? Because typically they would most likely go a younger version again. The way this is going to work is James Harden is going to be 38 and you want to get younger. You want to most likely get younger because he's going to ask for a contract. We know how he is. And that's completely fair. That's his right. But I'm just like, I don't see you hitting your expectations with this route you've taken. I'm not saying punt the season, but if at the end of the season, the excuse is we were not healthy, it's much better than we're going to most likely flame out in the playoffs again. That's how I'm going to end it. Because one thing I can be guaranteed of. That's why I love him so much. He's giving me, as a hater, he's giving me so much beautiful moments because every playoffs I come and I expect, my expectation is he's going to underperform and you're going to flame out. And
Yeah.
I know at the end of this season, I'll get that again. That's consistency, man. That's absolutely consistent. And that's how that's literally my argument for this trade and everything. For the Clippers, they got younger. Garland needs to get healthy. They have questions to answer about their future because are you resigning Kawhi, which I don't think makes sense anymore? And how are they moving forward? They've traded Zubac, which kind of gives us an idea of they might want to rip the Band-Aid on everything and start again. And I feel if you want to start with Garland being a centerpiece, not a cornerstone, like a centerpiece of whatever you want to build and stuff. I think he's definitely someone that you should definitely put the ball in his hands and see where you go with moves you can make in the future. So yeah, very interesting trade.
I do just want to say before we move on to the next one, like this, but the one thing that we do need to consider here is that was this a bit of a salary dump from Cleveland getting off the Garland money? Because if you guys are not well aware, Garland is making $39.4 million this year, $42.1 million next year, and in 27-28, before he becomes a free agent, he's making $44.8 million. That is 25.75% of the league cap.
Yeah.
So if we are just having that realistic conversation, if it does not work here with Garland, that is a very, very expensive contract. And if the worst case for Cleveland is, you know what, we do this thing for the next 2 years with Harden and Mitchell. If it doesn't work, bye-bye Mitchell, bye-bye Harden, restart it again, and we get a fresh book. We're not worried about the Garland money because that is a lot of money to be committed to a guy that the health is still very questionable. So I just wanted to point that out as well.
I think.
Sorry, I have one thing to add. Sorry. Someone made a trade. Someone made a tweet the other day, and they were like, "Man, how does this guy have 3 All-Stars on his team or 2 All-Stars on his team and a DPY twice in his career?"
Yeah.
And he's not made it to the conference final. And I was like, "Oh, who is that?" Like, it didn't even come to my mind. I was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, Donovan Mitchell. Yep. Like no one actually even pips. And I was like, that is if you think about any of the primetime players in the league who if you want to listen to like just rankings and all, he should be part of those primetime players in leagues and all. That is crazy to have that amount of All-Stars back-to-back franchises and a DPOY on your team. And you still know, as I've said, Donovan Mitchell is one of the best playoff performers, but he's one of the best playoff performers if you've not watched the playoffs with his team. Because while the counting numbers says he scores this amount of points, I have seen him consistently shoot his teams out of games. And after his first year, he became one of genuinely, I know Luka is a terrible defender, but he became one of the worst defenders I've seen in the playoffs, genuinely and all. So I'm like, while he has the counting numbers, I think he's the third reading ranking player in the playoffs and everything. I just find it very interesting that we are doing this all because we're doing this all for him. Because who in the room in the Cleveland room is saying, wait. Why can't it be because it's this guy that we're not achieving our goals? Because again, he's had like 5 All-Stars within him. He's had 2 DPOYs within him. That is enough to make a conference finals at least once, and he's not. And I don't know why I don't know why they didn't ask that question because you guys are making a decision. You want to sign him to a 5-year again and go through 5 years of this?
Yeah, I mean Donovan Mitchell is nearing 30, like in the next year or 2. He's almost 30 years old, which is pretty crazy. And I feel like he doesn't get enough flack for his team's performances in the playoffs. Like that's true. Like when you were saying that, I was like, "Who are you talking about?" And then you said Donovan Mitchell. I'm like, that does make sense.
I didn't even think about it.
But I'd argue for Cleveland, like they're a better team. Like James Harden right now is better than Darius Garland. Will Darius Garland ever be close to James Harden's level?
Probably
I don't think
not.
so. I don't think so. So I
Probably
think that the Cavaliers got more healthy, got more available, and got better, frankly. And, you know, you could say about James Harden, we can talk about James Harden in the playoffs and all that, but Darius Garland in the playoffs, there hasn't been too many good games for him either. He's had some bad games as well.
Yeah.
And at least Harden can give you 2 games per series, and then hopefully Donovan Mitchell can get the rest, and then he'll
I
even
think
out, and
I think
they'll make a finals
one
run.
of the big things is I can say a lot about Harden and all. This regular season, they're gonna rank up that table. They're gonna go up in the East 1,000%.
Which
I don't know where they're
which is
going.
necessary because they've been
which is
really
nec-
disappointing.
Which is necessary. They're going to climb up the table 1,000%. And one of the big things is Harden is Garland is a good table setter, but I just think Harden has this chemistry with centers, and Mobley, the Allens are going to really enjoy having him on the team, and they're going to be better because of this. And like
Yeah.
they're going to be better because of this. But yeah, like there's advantages in the regular season, and they're going to rank up the table. But as I've always said, James Harden fans are suffering from amnesia that has never been recorded in human history. I know what these next 2 months are going to be before April comes. It's going to be, oh my goodness, can't believe this, and we're going to, but April, whatever is going to come, and it's going to begin. And yeah, I'm just waiting for that. It's going to be a good 2 months though.
Yeah. I think
Go-
Mobley, as we talked about early in this season with 18-8, like he really did struggle a bit this year. I think that was because Garland was out so much. I think he's going to look a lot better with
He's going to look
Harden
a lot
for the rest
better.
of this season.
Yes.
Probably get some confidence back. But like thinking about the East at large, bro, I feel like this whole conference is a wash, man. Like Cleveland, like they got better, but you know, the Harden playoff stuff is inevitable. New York looked terrible, and now they're looking good again, and they're just a question mark. I think the Celtics without Tatum can't really realistically do anything.
Are
I
we
have
sure?
no faith.
Are we
I
sure?
don't. Yeah,
I'm not. I don't buy it, man.
I don't
You
think the
don't buy it?
Celtics without Tatum, they can't. Well, I mean, they can probably like make a second round, maybe even conference finals, but they're not a serious finals team without Tatum.
But like I'm saying, do we see a series where the Cavs play the Celtics and the Celtics can win that series?
No, I think the Celtics could win that series.
Is there any series outside of the Pistons currently and the Knicks?
Oh my god, I forgot the Pistons. Never mind.
I think the Knicks and the Knicks are going to be serious in the playoffs. I just think they're going to figure out whatever they are going to figure out. They have to. Like it's kind of thing where it's like if you don't make the finals this year, the Knicks and the Cavs, if you don't make the finals this year, for the Cavs, it's kind of different now. But when you make the Harden move, it's a win now move. So you have the expectations, right? Those two, if you don't make the finals this year, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. Like I don't know what we're doing. But I'm looking at the Celtics and I'm like, is there anybody they face in the playoffs they are going to just be like, we can't win outside of those two in the Pistons and the Knicks? I don't really see it. As much as they are on demand.
I like understand the point you're trying to make, but like we have to remember like what the core philosophy of like Boston is. And this is still like a high variance like 3-point shooting team. This is a team that lives and dies behind the arc. And as much as I do want to agree with you, because like I was one of the few people that was not few, I don't think it was a few people. I was one of the people, I was part of the people that were saying that, you know, that Celtics team with Porzingus, with Derek White, with Drew Holiday, with Tatum, with Brown, Pritchard, that was one of the best teams I've ever seen in my entire life, just because of how much they absolutely kill teams on both ends of the basketball. Now, you don't have Tatum, so you don't have like this, and you know, Sam, especially you, Sam, you and I especially, I've been hard on Tatum for a very long time, but I feel like last year and maybe a little bit the year before, he took an ascension in terms of like the connectivity, like just all this game breaking, like marginal play where it's like, you know, he just becomes a different animal, especially the assist stuff, which I thought was crazy. So without that guy, and I know like Boston has still been very impressive. Like they've gotten good play out of like a lot of like rotation guys, and that's just like what a guy like Joe Mazzulla is just going like that's just Joe Mazzulla. He's always going to be able to extract like things out of guys. But like we need to be serious. Like Hugo Gonzalez, Luka Garza, like these are not real guys getting you minutes in the
They
playoffs.
made a
Like
win now move. They
we
got Vucevic.
we need to be
MP,
serious. Like we
NPCs.
need to be like
You know what I did? I don't want to hijack this conversation because we're talking about trades and all. So,
yeah.
Elias, let's get to the next because we're 20 minutes in and we literally just talked about one trade.
I
Yeah.
think we might as well talk about the Zubac to the Pacers one next. I think the Clippers are big winners in this trade deadline, not only because, I mean, they got Darius Garland. They have a future now. Like, their books at the start of this season, they only had one person signed 2 years from now, and that was Zubac.
Yeah.
Which meant, like, you know, they've been really loving that all that money they have in 2 years that they're going to spend. I think getting the Darius Garland is a great future piece for them. And then Zubac to the Pacers. I mean, I like their picks that they're getting back. The Pacers, this is like, how can we make a trade where we have our cake and eat it too? Because this is like the highest variance trade just because of the pick situation. So if the Pacers stay in the top 4, they keep the pick. If it's 5 through 9, they give the pick to the Clippers. If it's 10 through 30, the Pacers keep the pick and the Clippers get a 2031 unprotected pick. So either way, the Clippers are getting 2029 unprotected pick and either 5 through 9 this year or 2031 unprotected. For Zubac at his value right now, I think that's a really good value for them. And for the Pacers, this is just like the biggest gamble I've seen a front office make in a while in terms of like, we have to continue to suck for the rest of the season. And whether or not they get that top 4 pick, I think if they get that top 4 pick next year, Indiana is going to be so crazy because they're going to be bringing in Zubac instead of Turner. They're going to be bringing in a top 4 pick instead of Benedict Mathurin, Halliburton back, Pascal back, Neesmith back, Nemhard back.
Wait, the Mathurin gets traded?
Mathurin was
Mathurin
traded in
was
this
Really?
To
where?
Yeah.
Mathurin, yeah.
For the
To the
Clippers, for
Clippers?
Zubac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Zubac, yeah.
Why didn't I know that?
That's
That
crazy.
is insane. I was making notes yesterday and I completely missed this.
Well,
No,
Shams
that
reported
is a
it
good-
at first
that
as just
is-
Zubac to the
Guys,
Pacers.
that is a good move for the Clippers. Getting Mathurin.
I'm not
Mathurin
the
is a good
highest
move.
on Mathurin
I'm a
for
big-
like the
I'm
long
a-
run.
Neither am I. I'm not.
I'm a
I'm
big
not.
Mathurin.
But he's a
Brandon.
young player.
He's a guy. He's a guy.
He
Oh
sure is a
my
guy.
God,
He is-
that is
he
a
is an
crazy.
He is
That is
he
a
is an
crazy-
NBA basketball. He's an NBA basketball player.
He
Okay.
is.
He's an
We're
NBA
gonna-
player.
We're gonna go. One day we're gonna go back to this. We're gonna go back to this.
Hey,
We're gonna go back to
Sammy.
this.
Hey, Sammy. I know you love Mathurin at like 9 million. Do you love him at like 25 to 30 million next year? Because he is entering restricted free agency.
What kind of contract do you
Like,
sign a
what-
player
what-
like that?
Like what are we talking about? Like, this is,
15,
like,
nothing more than 20.
you are not like getting this guy for anything, Russell. Like it's gonna be more than 20 million. The number is gonna be more than 20.
That's
That's
fair.
gonna look
That's
so
fair.
nasty.
The number, like that's what I'm saying. Like so, like I like Benedict Mathurin when he's making 9 million. I don't know if I love Benedict Mathurin when he's making 19 million. Like
yeah.
it's tough. It's
He's
tough.
not an
It's
all-star type of player, and
It's
for the
tough.
Pacers, they were gonna have to give him some type of contract that
I'll say the
I
one
wouldn't
thing.
feel
The one thing.
comfortable with.
The one thing I'll say about the Zubac thing is also like, and we have to look at this. I know we look at the transaction cycle of an NBA and like, oh, they get this pick. I'm looking at play style. Zubac doesn't fit what they do, and I wonder how that changes in terms of like Turner. As much as Turner had his weaknesses, he's almost like this. Like he's like almost like what's the word? He's like a giraffe, like a long giraffe that runs around, that will play in that type of high intensity, shoots a lot of threes and stuff. So he fits what they're doing and all, right? As much as he had his flaws. Zubac is also a really, really good player. And I'm not saying he's not good. I really like Zubac.
Yeah.
But is he gonna fit that up and down style and everything? And the way and the Pacers are going to put him in a position where he's going to have to defend on the like Turner was on the perimeter a lot, and he got burnt too. And with Zubac as a good defender around the paint, A+. He's going to have to defend around the perimeter, and I wonder how that's going to play out for them also, because if you're going to have that spot with Zubac coming out on the perimeter and everything, and you are going to have a Haliburton coming back from injury too, he most likely is not going to be 1,000%, which is obviously. So that's two guys that you may have certain defensive issues with. I just think in terms of offensive style, Zubac is going to fist just because Haliburton is the kind of playmaker he is, but also does he just fit the run and gun? Like we're taking the ball out of the hoop every single moment of time and stuff like that. It's a question that I have, and he's a bruiser, and they don't play that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I think,
yeah. No.
Yeah.
I
I think it'll be interesting because Turner doesn't shoot. I mean, Turner shoots threes and Zubac doesn't shoot threes at all. But I have no, like, I have absolute faith in Rick Carlisle and
Yes,
Halliburton and the Pacers
the one.
organization to figure it out. Like, I think they'll just utilize the fact that Zubac is a much better paint protector than Miles Turner ever was, and is much better inside at near the rim than Miles Turner ever was. And
If
for the
there's
up
one-
and down 5-out offense, I think they'll figure it out in some way. But that is interesting.
If there's
point.
the one thing you can always hang your hat at is Riccardo is a freaking psycho. So I'm sure he's going to have a way.
Yeah. All right. Next trade. Anthony Davis to the Wizards. The Wizards were the most unexpected team. You could have gave me 35 guesses and I would have not guessed the Wizards in doing anything like this before the season started. Not only trading for AD, but Trae Young earlier, which I don't believe we got to talk about in the last episode. That was before that happened. But yeah, the whole entire trade was AD, D'Lo, Jaden Hardy, Dante Exum, and Dallas got Chris Middleton, Marvin Bagley, Tyus Jones, AJ Johnson, a first round pick from Oklahoma City or Houston or Clippers, and then some other picks, a 2030 pick and some seconds. I really like this from the Wizards, I think, because a team that has been bad for almost 10 years now, bro. They haven't made the playoffs since like John Wall. I think that was 2016-17 or 17-18.
Hey, Westbrook, respect.
Did they make the playoffs?
I think they made the playoffs with Ross.
Oh wait, and then they lost.
They lost to Philly, I believe.
Yeah, they lost to Philly. You're right. Yeah. That's crazy.
Hey, respect,
I completely forgot
bro.
about that.
Hey, don't do that.
I'll respect it. I'll respect it. Westbrook
Daye, I see a smirk on your face. Drop that smirk. Please drop that smirk. Don't do that to us. Respect us.
But I saw an even more interesting one is that the Wizards have gone almost like 45 years without having a 50-win season.
Jesus fucking
which is
Christ.
ridiculous. They haven't had a good team ever. So their entire team is rookie contract players: Alex Sarr, Bilal Coulibaly, Keyshawn George, whatever top 5 pick they get this year, and then Trae Young and AD. Honestly, I like it.
You know what? I complete that, and that's the way I view it too. It's like we've sucked so much that even if we get a great draft pick, like if we get a number 1 pick, our team is still going to most likely be somewhere where we still need to find pieces. And who really wants to go to the Wizards? So let's just do this trade, even though there's obviously you have 2 guys that, especially with AD, you cannot rely on his health. But in terms of as players, I love what Trae Young and AD brings to the table in terms of that chemistry, as Trae Young as a point guard, and what AD serves for them as a defensive. Like, if we forget, AD pretty much was a cog to pretty much hold how bad the Lakers defense was for so many years. Like, he was the one person helping that. And you have guys like Bilal Coulibaly. You have guys like Alex Sarr. I think those
Alex Sarr and like AD is going to be like, if they stay healthy, that's going to be a really nice defensive front court.
If they stay healthy is a big question. But I would say, and this is I'm going to let Daye speak about this a bit and all. I would say I want to talk about the AD portion of this. I'm happy for AD. And this is my biggest thing. I'm happy for AD, right? I'm happy for AD because I love AD. Like, I really love AD. And before the whole Dallas Mavericks thing, that was one of my guys. And while I have issues with AD, I think on a human level, whatever he's experienced this last February to this thing has been one of the worst things, confidence-wise, any person can experience. Think about this. This is a NBA champion, one of the best power forwards ever,
Top 75 player.
ever, and you were seen as nothing for months.
Yeah.
Like, you were seen like you were not quite important. And I feel there's no amount of like confidence or self-belief you can have that doesn't tick into you. Like, a whole franchise and pretty much a whole NBA world completely just disregarded every single thing you are just because you were just a number on a name on a sheet that one other guy traded for, and your whole life is just like. And I always wonder. I was like, if I'm AD, I'll look at all my accolades. I'll look at everything I've won. NCAA champion. I don't know if AD has won a DPO. Giannis robbed him of one DPOY, even though that Giannis is my guy. Giannis robbed him of one DPOY. But this is a generational player. He was one of those power forwards. And the last how many amount of months has just been, who's this guy they traded for? Right? Just because of how big it was. And I feel on a human level, I'm glad because the Wizards fans are going to embrace him. Something he was never going to get in Dallas. Like, they're going to embrace him. Even now, when he gets injured, there's not going to be like, every time he got injured for us as Mario fans, like, okay, yeah, this is the person you wanted to put our freaking hopes on, right? Now there'll be even more manageable, like, the PR about it, the way they talk about it. Wizards fans are going to be happy to just have him in the building. And that amount of love from a community and fan base, I know that does well for just a human and a player too. It gives you a certain level of confidence and it gives you a certain level of just showing up for that team. And I think that's one thing I would say, away from if this trade is a good trade or not good trade, I'm really happy for AD.
Yeah, and like I think like in terms of just like a basketball fit, the both of you are just higher on this move than I am. I understand like why the Wizards are making this move, but like I still have like real questions as to like what like Anthony Davis is now as a player. Like he feels a lot like a husk of himself. We're talking about a guy that we've done, like everybody has seen the numbers. Like AD cannot give you like 60 to 65 games anymore. And like you have to ask yourself the very real question as to
He's
how
out for the
viable of a
season.
team. Like exactly, like
He's out for the season.
They
we can
want
be
that
honest.
pick.
They want that pick. Like, like
Yeah, they
he's out
want
for the
that pick.
season. Be like we're not like don't expect to see trade this year. Like of course AD is not going to play this year. Like so I understand the rationale, but like so if we're just talking about like the asking price, like Chris Middleton's expiring, like AJ Johnson, Tyus Jones, like Marvin Bagley III, like giving up some firsts that don't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. I understand it. Do I think that this just feels a little bit too early? Like there's still so many players on this Wizards roster that I have so many questions about. Like I know you guys are like you love Alex Sarr, but like we still don't know. Is this like where are we at? Like what is the scale like on Alex Sarr? Like Keyshawn George, like Trey Johnson, like this roster is still littered like Bob Carrington, who I think might be one of the worst players in the
I
NBA.
like,
But I
you think you
I
hate him?
I I like genuinely think that Bob Carrington might be one of the worst players in the NBA. I understand it. I understand the sentiment. I like genuinely cannot stand like some of the stuff he offers. But anyways, I digress. The fact that these are questions that we still have, even like Bob Carrington, truly Bob Carrington aside, just like the entirety of this roster, like I think is like fine. But for this to like be the open salvo you make on a roster that's kind of still like getting like this team, I think still need like a year or two. And I understand that like the NBA is like a sport where like we just learned a lot. And I think we're gonna get onto his trade very shortly. We just learned with the Memphis Grizzlies that you cannot stand pat forever. You need to make decisions about your roster. So from that aspect, I do understand why Washington has made these two deals, and again, these are not very expensive deals in the terms of like assets. Like this is really good asset management, and I give a lot of like, credit to that Washington front office. But like we're not talking about like these are not like Trey Young and Anthony Davis do not like change the trajectory of your franchise as they are right now. Maybe the two of them in the aggregate can, but
there's something
still.
there's something I'm going to add to your point that you just mentioned, and I think this
Mhm.
is something and I don't really know the way to quantify or explain this, but hear me out. Right now, the way I see team building in the NBA is this, and as I said, this is not. I'm looking at it more like theoretically and all. There's something that you need to kickstart in your franchise when it comes to winning. There ain't no more, we're going to walk through this draft and get this amount of picks, but we're going to lose and lose. And I'm sorry, it really does something to your franchise when you're just losers, when you're like complete and utter losers. But when you start building on the margin, right? And for example, I completely agree. Maybe AD is not in the Wizards in next 2 years or 3 years, right?
Yeah.
But like, can we get a 45 win season? Can we just get just chip that in there? That kind of thing. Like, let us start getting. Oh, like, okay, then now maybe in the trade deadline we're saying, oh, we see, oh, we're winning. Oh, but we need something. We need this move. We need a wing. We need a perimeter defense. Let's make that move. Let's see how that improves margins by margins. Like the general manager job right now in the NBA is not this. I want to talk about a certain guy, but I'm going to leave my words because I don't want to get disrespectful. And it's the general manager job in the NBA right now isn't this whole, we have a $60 million cap space, we're going to wait till on this X time. No, it's about margin. It's like margin building. You have to add margins brick by brick by. And I feel one of the things the Wizards have done, as you say, they have not won shit for a long time. Why not just let's get good players in here and see what that means? Like, let's get a 7 seed, an 8 seed. Let us get that is, and let's just start building upon it and all. And that injects something not just to the players, it injects something to the fan base, it injects something to the front office. Expectations build winning. And that's why I feel about this. Because now, the when you have AD and Trae on your team too, those players carry a certain level of expectations just being on your team. Now, as Alexa, as Bila Koulibaly, as Bob Carrington, whoever you are, the effort you put in now, eyes are on you that have not been on you all season long. Like, now people are going to actually start like dissecting who you are as a player. The front office is going to know who exactly you are as a player and all. And that's why they're going to be like, we don't see a 3-year span with this guy. But if you keep on building, we're going to do the drafts, we're going to leave this cap space, we're going to these players just waste away there. They are there, they never improve. You never know which one actually can stay with you. So that's why I feel, for me, the Wizards just like, let's do something. Let's just do something and stop this whole, we're waiting for some. There's no utopia in team building now in the NBA. There's no this point you get to. You have to start taking whatever step you need and all. And that's how I feel about the general manager job in the NBA right now. And I like it, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I really agree. I like this because for a team that has been so bad and is so young, you're realistically, everything else aside, all the picks which none of them are Wizards picks, you got rid of CJ McCollum and Chris Middleton and got back Trae Young and Anthony Davis. Like, that is a point guard that you don't have. That, like, there's no real point guard on this team. You're getting a proven playmaking point guard like Trae Young and a proven defensive monster like Anthony Davis around all these rookies and young guys who you have some type of expectations for, but you also don't really know what to expect for them. You're giving them structure. And I heard, like, on the Zach Lowe podcast, he described it as like you're scaling them down a little bit. Like, you're not expecting Keyshawn George or Alex Sarr to lead the team in, points, rebounds, and assists every single game. Like, you have a Trae Young, you can do a lot of the playmaking. You have Anthony Davis, you can hold it down for you. All the other rookies and young players, now they can kind of build a type of role for themselves and see who they can really become. And also, like, I don't really see any of the players that they have on their team as like the guy. They don't really have the guy yet. It's possible they get it this draft. I think it would be exceptional for them to get it this draft because then you're bringing in whoever, Cam Boozer, AJ Devonsa, Darren Peterson. You're bringing them in with all these other young guys who, want to make a role for themselves, but you have some established players who know how to win in this league and who know what they're good at, and they have skills that you guys don't necessarily have right now at an elite level. And I think they're like, you just can't be bad forever. You can't be, we have this young team, this young team, this young team. It has to be a real team at some point. It can't just be young players. It has to be a real team. And for what they gave up, it's a win. And the other big win is that they haven't signed either of these guys to contracts yet. Obviously, they can because of like everybody else on this team is on a rookie deal. So them signing AD or Trae Young for a large amount of money might look nasty, but for them, it's like we got to pay somebody, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's really not that bad. But yeah. All right. Next trade. I don't know if you guys want to talk this one first. Jaren Jackson Jr. to Utah. This one is a very interesting trade. It practically is just Jaren Jackson Jr. as well as, let's say, Jock Landale, who already left, Vince Williams Jr., John Conchart to Utah, and then Memphis gets back Kyle Anderson, Walter Clayton Jr., Taylor Hendricks, Georges Niang, first round pick in 27 that's top 4 protected from Los Angeles, and then an unprotected pick from Utah, Cleveland, or Minnesota in 27, and then an unprotected 31 pick from Phoenix. So basically, Jaren Jackson Jr. for 3 picks. I think this is very similar to the Wizards. Like, you can't be bad forever, man. I think I forgot that Walker Kessler existed and plays basketball because how early he got injured this season. So when they made this trade, I was like, Laurie and Jaren Jackson, I don't know. That seems kind of like a weird fit. But then I forgot that he existed. So, and Laurie has played 3 before in Cleveland. Laurie, Jaren, Walker Kessler. That's a pretty decent front court. I'm interested by this trade. And what do you guys think about it?
This is a home run move by Utah. I absolutely love everything of this deal. The equity was not heavy. Of course they had to give up really this is if we're just being honest, this is 4 firsts because they got Walter Payton Jr. in the deal as well. I'm
Yeah.
not that like he's a rookie, so there's no point in me like having like real like tangible thoughts about a rookie. But this is 4 firsts for Jaren Jackson Jr. You don't give up the pick this year, so you're still in the running for Cam Boozer, Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonsa. So you still like are gonna get your guy, so to say. You still have Laurie Marketing, you still have Walker Kessler, Ace Bailey, who I'm not too high on, is still on the roster, but like that's still like an asset. He's still a good. He still has like projects as like a rotational NBA player. Like there are still like players here that like there are reasons to be like optimistic about, and you understand why the Grizzlies do it. They get off the money. They can do a full reset. It is really it was like this is the trade that like actually like got me out of my seat where I was like, wait, what? Like number one, like I didn't know Jaren Jackson Jr. was on the market. Number two, I didn't realize Utah was the one going after Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
And number three, I didn't know that they could actually get it done. So like to basically give up like and again like they gave up like tangible first, but like the expectation is that this is going to be a very good team in a year or two. We'll see how realistic that is because again, this is still a Western Conference team. Like being a very good team can still put you in the 6th seed. Like it's rough. It's a rough conference. So I still understand it, but you go out and you get like a defensive player of the year who does not rebound, but you know, that's fine. But this is still like one of the elite defenders. You're going to put him next to an elite center defensively in Walker Kessler. You're going to have Laurie Marketing who like takes threes, makes them for Daye. I haven't even gotten to Keontae George yet. Like,
Yeah.
like
I
there
was
is
waiting.
I think that's one of the
so
things
much to
we need
love it.
to add about. That's one of the things we need to add about this move. This move, I bet you, does not happen if Keontae George has not happened.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't believe this
Absolutely.
move would have
Absolutely.
happened if Keontae George has not become what he's become this season. I don't see
Absolutely.
Utah would not have pulled this off. I think it was a
Absolutely.
I think we're good over here. It was a
Yeah.
we're good over here, so we can do this. Because if they were not good over here, we're trying to aim for Adrian Peterson. Is it Adrian Peterson? That's his name. No, Darren
Darren Peterson.
Yeah, that would be the aim. But now, it doesn't mean we can't aim for Darren Peterson. It just means if we miss out on him, we're good over there. We're still good over there. And this, for me, this is a Keontae Judge, like almost like an acceptance of, hey man, we believe in you.
It's a huge thing of confidence for
It's a
him.
huge,
Like
it's
that
a
they
huge.
really believe like what he's doing is real for this
Yes,
season.
yes.
And for the
Daye, I know I
future.
interrupted there, so you can continue. Sorry, but I just wanted to say that.
No,
Like,
no,
yeah.
no. Like you are spot on about that. Like Keontae George is an absolute offensive machine. The Jazz are just looking at it here on my end. The Jazz are 9 points better. I believe this is offensive rate according to Data Baller. Better on off when he's on the court versus when he's off the court. The defensive stuff we're not going to talk about because that's just
Yeah.
that is why you go out and you acquire Jaren Jackson Jr. because Keontae George is looking like an offensive monster, So why not go out and further insulate the position you have behind him, to take some pressure off so that all he has to worry about is being a scorer because he has shown an ability to score and score prolifically. Like you said, you can still go. There is a realistic world where this team still ends up with a Darren Peterson, ends up with an AJ DeBonsa, ends up with a Cam Boozer, and that is the reason why you take this swing. Because
Yeah.
now the front line, the roster you are trotting out in a year's time can be a backcourt of Darren Peterson, Keontae George, Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Walker Kessler, and you still have guys like Ace Bailey coming off the bench. That is insane.
Insane. I was listening to Hoop Collective, and Tim Bontemps said something. I believe it was him. He said, "There's a part of the NBA now where the way to approach pretty much your team competing is just being completely weird and different, like just being completely like teams having to figure out what is this team." Right? You get what I'm trying to say?
Mhm.
There's a part of it where you're going to get so many wins because teams can't figure out what their rotations are. Teams can't figure out how we handle this. If in a year's time they can, like in the next season, they might be able to figure out your team. But for next year, everybody's going to be like, what are we? Because that front line is going to be humongous. Like
Yeah.
that is a
It's a
massive
huge
front line.
team.
It's a It's also a front line that I feel there's a mesh of skills. Like you have Lauri Markkanen, a good rebounder, not the greatest defender. Jaren Jackson, great defender, not a good rebounder. Also, a guy that gets into foul trouble. But now you have Walker Kessler and Markkanen, where you can kind of you can handle if he has to sit out a couple games. We can still be big. You get what I'm trying to say? We're not small because this guy gets foul trouble, easy foul trouble and all. So you have that. You have Walker Kessler, who I am a big fan of, and I thought the Lakers were going to make a trade for him and all. They didn't.
Thank
of
God
course,
not.
we know the cartel member that is leading their GM position and all. But this is like I just find the mesh of skills on those three guys. On those three guys so fitting and all. It's not perfect, but it's just it makes sense. It just makes sense. Like I like it. I want to see. There's a part of it where you just want to even see what this is on the court and everything. And you have Keontae Judge, and you have what are the other NPCs on their team? I've completely forgotten it.
Bailey,
Isaiah Collier had
Isaiah
two
Collier,
back-to-back
who is a guy I really like. I really like a good playmaker, like a really, really good playmaker, a ball mover.
22 assists.
He's a connector for them. And I think they have like 120 points offensive rating with Keontae Judge and Markkanen on the court and stuff like that.
They're
Like,
a really good offensive team, and their coach, what's his name?
Will Hardy.
Everyone
Will Hardy, he's a
for some
great,
reason,
he's
that
a
someone
great
explained to
young
me,
coach.
everyone loves Will Hardy. Every time people talk about how Will Hardy is like this creative, I want to see that next season because I've not really seen I'm not saying he's not good. I'm saying I've still not taken enough information to actually gain that kind of evidence because every analyst I hear talk about Will Hardy, they're like, this guy is the real deal. This guy is creative. This guy. So I'm going to see what that is next season because as I always say, it's very easy for us to label people this thing. But when expectations tell a lot, when there's expectations, let's see how you when you lose, when you go on that 3-game losing streak and you're meant to win the last 3 games, let's see how you do and all. So I want to see what Will Hardy is all about because I've still not maybe I've not just paid enough attention, which I think is that it's Utah. I'm sorry, I'm not paying too much attention to you guys.
Yeah.
So I want to see what that's going to be for them next year. But as Tim Bontemps said, sometimes you just want to make your team weird, like absolutely weird. And I think this is one team that everyone is going to be like, okay, we have to strap up to go play against them. And everyone needs to remember, Utah actually has a home. What do you call it? Like their homes, like them playing in Utah is not easy. Like playing against Utah in Utah is not easy, and that's a great fan base. Another word I can use for them too, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like that's a great fan base, and and that
did you hear they're trying to get that they're allowed to bring guns into the Utah?
Oh my!
I saw a tweet that was like, "Bro, Jaren better not get that extra foul, or else it's gonna get crazy in there."
You need to duck, bro. You need to duck, my guy. Because they like Keontae George can pass for white. McCain is white. Klesa is white, and so you're the only.
What's the next trade, man? What's the next trade? What's the next trade?
I think this one is one of the biggest ones. Jared McCain to OKC.
Oh boy,
this is a trade. I'm actually in shock that the Sixers did this. They got back 2026 first round pick from Houston, I believe, and then 3 seconds over 27 and 28. And they just gave up on Jared McCain.
My question
they
for
were
you
talking
guys
about that they want to re-sign Quentin Grimes. I don't know. I think Jared McCain is better than Quentin Grimes.
Respect Grimes. Respect Grimes. I just want to say, what is like? Okay, if you guys can be in Philly's shoes, what is your reason for giving up on him this quick? Because I don't see the reason.
I don't know.
So here's how I have. Of course, I'm not an NBA fan. Obviously, I don't have any NBA experience. But this is what I think. So Philly goes into last season. End of last season happens. They tank. They do the whole thing. They go into VJ Edgecombe. They draft VJ Edgecombe, and you're thinking, oh, okay, this is gonna be fun. VJ Edgecombe and Maxey should be an okay backcourt. And then Maxey looks like a fucking MVP, averaging 29 points a game. VJ Edgecombe looks like a real rookie of the year. Even VJ Edgecombe truthers, I think, are really surprised by how good he is. And I think that the calculus on this was kind of simple. Two things, and so I think this was the biggest part. OKC actually owns Philly's first in the draft this year. So this is what I think would have happened. Sam Presti picks up the phone, calls Daryl Morey. He says, Daryl, come on. Everybody knows how good this 26 draft is going to be. I will do you just as a between bros, just you and me, Here is a pick this year. Here's a 26 pick this year. I believe it's I don't know what team it is off the top of my head.
It's Houston's.
It's Houston, exactly. So it's Houston's pick. So Philly and Houston are in and around the same place. The expectations that we have for Philly and Houston, I don't think are drastically different. So this is effectively saying, hey, why don't I swap you back your pick? And I'll throw you 3 seconds for I'll throw you 3 seconds just for your time. And you end up with 4 picks for Jared McCain, who, even as a Jared McCain truth, this was a very pricey package. But do you know who can put together pricey packages? The team who has hoarded them for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Who has said, you know what? Give us Al Horford. Throw a second in, we'll take on Al Horford. Throw a second in, we'll waive Kemba. Throw a second in, sure, we'll hold Chris Paul for a season. One of the
they had Gordon Hayward at one point.
Bro, they would take on anybody. They took on any and everybody just to amass picks. And this is what happens when you are insanely good at asset management. You are able to take swings like this where, guess what? This roster is going to get very expensive next season because all the maxes that they've handed out to Chet Holmgren and to Jalen Williams are going to kick in. You're going to have to pay Isaiah Joe. You're going to have to pay Cason Wallace. You're going to have to make a decision on Isaiah Hardenstein. Do you know how you bulletproof some of that? You go and get 2.5 years of Jared McCain. If he doesn't work out, hey, guess what? I still have the MVP on my team. I think I'm just fine at guard.
Yeah.
And most importantly, they add a real shooter. This is a guy who I believe hit 46% on about 4 attempts last season. We are talking about a guy who is a sniper. And even though McCain has like real defensive woes, guess who can insulate real defensive woes?
The-
This is the perfect swing for a team that is built to do everything here. Like Sammy has been saying this entire time, the way you win is you get weird. This is a weird transaction, but it is a transaction that teams as good as OKC, who have done everything right at every step of the way, are able to make time and again.
Again.
Because guess what? If I call you and I say I have 4 picks for you, do you want them for Jared McCain? Fuck yeah, Jerry, get your bags and get your shit out of here. We're
Yep.
sending you over to Oklahoma City. This is just this to me was my favorite deal of the entire deadline, because it is just like a show of how well run OKC is, because it's the only team that can make this trade, that can justify it to itself, makes the swing, and it makes perfect sense in every single way you think about it. Even in the worst case scenario where Jared McCain is not the same guy, they have lost absolutely nothing as a
Nothing.
result of it.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And that's what
Nothing.
I've said. That's what I've said. Like you don't sit pat. You don't sit pat. You keep. It's like etching away. It's like you see a sculptor trying to sculpt a stone. You cannot just boom to like you. It's like tiny fine details of just etching
Mhm.
away and creating the best. And that's why like there's no wait. Like you can't wait. You can't wait.
Yeah.
You can't wait in this NBA. You can't wait. Like there's no
Yeah.
waiting. Take every opportunity to get better. It doesn't mean everything is going to work, but you set up yourself in a way where we have a program in place where we can take on this. But if this pans out for us, it makes us even better. And that's how I view this move too. I just feel Philly could have held on. Like Philly could have held on with this guy. I really liked what he was for the team and all. I know VJ is awesome, and I know Maxi is
Yeah.
awesome, and I don't see any reason why a third guard from coming up for the bench and stuff like that, or maybe your small lineups and everything could pay dividends for you in future. I don't see any reason. I feel you're giving up on him too early, and that's the only part of it I
Yeah.
didn't like. I know. And for OKC, everything Daye said is spot on.
No, I agree absolutely. I think it is kind of crazy for Philadelphia to, I guess, essentially choose Quentin Grimes over him. Like
It's
I like
insane.
both of them, but I just expect Jared McCain to be better than Quentin Grimes in 2 to 3 years. And I guess, I mean, they wanted to go with a guy who looked better-ish this season compared to a guy coming off a major injury and getting a pick in this year. I mean, it's something, but I mean, for OKC, it's just an absolute home run, because I think that they have had such a weird season, because it started off with this just absolute barrage, 25-1, like we are the best team ever, we're gonna be the new Warriors, and then since then, hey, they've had a lot of losses. Like the Pistons are getting kind of close to them in the overall standings. Like they're a couple games behind. They've lost to the Raptors. They've lost to the Hornets. They've lost to the Spurs a couple times. Like they really got slapped in the face. And I think that we saw they started off the season shooting very hot from three. Then they cooled off immensely. And like Sam, we've talked about this before. The fake shooting that they kind of have with like a Case and Wallace, a Lou Dort,
I
a
always
Caruso,
talk about your fake
a
shooting,
J
man.
Dub, even
I
a
always
J
talk
Dub,
about
who
the
J
fake
Dub
shooting.
is also a, he's just been injured for so much. I think the fact that AJ Mitchell has been so important to this team, and has taken such a big role because J Dub was out, really shows like, hey, I love Case and Wallace, Lou Dort. I'm not expecting a bunch of on-ball creation from them like an AJ Mitchell would give us. I think Jared McCain has something like that hasn't really been explored fully yet, because he hasn't played as much in the NBA. I think he has some ability off the dribble to attack closeouts and stuff like that, and create plays for others here and there a bit more than a Kaysen or a Caruso or Dort do. And he's just a much more reliable high volume 3-point shooter. I think it's A+ for OKC, and just they get away with it again. The best team in the league gets away with it again. All right, after this, we got a few more trade. We got several more trades. However, none of them are like the biggest. I think I want to get your opinion on the Warriors getting Kristaps Porzingis for Buddy Hield and Kuminga.
All I'll just say is,
This is
all I'll say is, I'm clapping. The worst show on TV, the worst show in TV history is over. The person that kept on making us talk about him, that I was like, why are we spending this transaction, how many transaction cycles to talk about him? You ain't that good for you to be in our mouth. He's finally gone. Let's go.
yeah.
Let's go. Jonathan Kuminga,
Yeah.
thank God you've gotten your move. I don't want to hear about you anymore. Like, that was the most annoying piece of just, it's like those, I remember me and Elias talked about it. It's like those your friend that is with a girlfriend that they want to break up and they never break up and you're tired of freaking hearing about it. This is literally it. I'm so glad he's over. So
Yeah.
congratulations, man. Congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah. And
I don't know what to make
Porzingis,
about.
in
I don't know what to
theory,
make about this move. I really don't know.
it's just like I don't care about it for either side. Like, the Kuminga saga finally ended off at like just a whimper. Like, nobody really cares about it. Like, Porzingis doesn't play. He has some type of actual medical thing where he just does not play. Kuminga wasn't allowed to play with the Warriors, and now he's going to be on the Hawks. And I think the Hawks are just such a funny team. I remember talking about this summer being the best summer. They were the winners, and now here they are in February, traded away Trae Young and Kristaps Porzingis. It's a very interesting team. I don't know, Daye, if you have any thoughts about that one.
This has been one of the worst trade deadlines by any team I've ever seen in my entire life. Let's run through this for a
For
second.
the Hawks?
The Hawks have somehow managed to solve it. What was already like a pretty mediocre team has somehow managed to further burn itself into the ground. Let's run through this stuff. Let's run through this. So the Wizards add 4-time All-Star Trae Young. Washington receives Trae Young, and Atlanta receives C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. Fine, I get it. Got to move him, no problem. Then the Hawks trade V. Krejci over to the Trailblazers in exchange for Duop Reith and 2 seconds. Duop Reith is done for the year, and I get it. You know, you get 2 seconds, like that's fine. I don't know about you guys. I really like V. Krejci. Like, I think that's a real shooter who has like secondary like creation skills for like a bench guard, like an 8th to 9th man. Then they do the Lonzo deal where Lonzo goes to Utah, and then they get Jock Landale in a 3-teamer or whatever. That's like a whatever deal. Like, they basically like we're just taking on Landale so they could like facilitate. Then they make the Luke Kennard trade where they send him to
my
the
God.
Lakers
No,
and then take on Gabe Vincent for a second.
that
Then they
one.
also do this deal, which is like the complete embodiment of like terrible asset management. Porzingis was going to be a UFA this season. If you didn't want to keep him, you let the contract run. Now you're taking on Jonathan Kuminga, who you have to make a decision as to if you want to pay, and end up with Buddy Hield's contract as well. This is absolutely terrible in every single way you can round it up. I don't get it. I do not get it. But yeah, we can go back to the Luke Kennard deal, because I actually think that was somehow worse than this deal, which I like. It's like whatever. Like, this deal is
When I
whatever. That deal was like.
Wait, you guys don't like Gabe Vincent, like playoff killer Gabe Vincent, perimeter.
Oh my God, bro!
perimeter
It's
stopper,
so funny.
perimeter stopper.
Gabe Vincent
Gabe
has
Vincent.
been literally like bottom 5 worst player in the league. I am so shocked that the Lakers were able to make any trade involving Gabe Vincent. Even if they gave up, that is actually like the Lakers' only 2nd round pick that they had. So that is like a real asset for them. And they were able to attach Gabe Vincent to get Luke Kennard, which is
Like,
sure.
what? Like what are we doing? Like, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
the
what
Hawks
are we
are
actually doing?
the Hawks are a weird team. The only like reason I feel optimistic about the Hawks' future is because they have the Pelicans pick. That is the only reason I feel good about the Hawks' future. Like, Jalen Johnson is good. I don't think Jonathan Kuminga has any real sort of future on this team. Like, I don't know. I don't expect how he's gonna look on this team.
Also, what does
And
this do? What
I
does
don't
this
know.
do? What does this do for the fact that you have I keep forgetting his name every single time. John, what's his name? There,
Jalen Johnson.
Jalen.
Jalen
What does this
Johnson?
do? Because you have Jalen Johnson. What with Kuminga, who has this? I don't know where this understanding of like, oh, I need to have the ball. I need to do this. I need to like. I'm sorry. Are we? Is he going to be battling that? Like, if he was doing that on the Warriors, who have a system, who have certain hierarchy in place, what is he going to do on the Hawks, right? And you have a budding superstar like Jalen Johnson, and now you kind of make it awkward and weird and stuff. Like I don't know, man. Like honestly, I don't.
This
The Hawks, the Hawks is
team.
so funny. I started the season with like, man, this is like this is one of the most talented Hawks teams I've seen in a while with Trae and everything, and we're at this point now. I'm like what is this, man? What is this?
Every year it's the same, bro. I can't believe. I think I fell for it too. I think I put the over on our over under video.
Bro, I
I
said they were going to win
they're
over
the
50
same.
games. Did I say they're going to
They're
win
the
50 games or
same
tops?
every year. I think
Jesus
so.
Christ.
I think we both put over for them. It was like 46, 47. They're the same every year. They're always middling. Yeah. Another trade. Yeah, I don't know if we have any more thoughts.
I'm just like as a final thing, I just I'm looking at this roster and like I don't understand how anybody's supposed to entice me that this is supposed to be even like a 4 seed. Like I understand the East is bad. The East is not going to be bad next season. Like the
Yeah.
Hawks are not
Yep.
going to be a good team this season anymore. And like
Yeah.
the East is not going to be bad next season. This team has Jalen Johnson, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Dyson Daniels, Onyeka Okongwu, like CJ McCollum, Jock Landale, B. Krejci, Risa Shea, Mo Gay, Buddy Hield, Corey Kispert, Jonathan Kuminga, Keaton Wallace, Asa Newell, Gabe Vincent, Christian Koloko, Ray J. Dennis, and Caleb Houston. Anybody tell me that this is a good team? Like I would like to
No.
hear how this is a good team.
I think the one thing you're kind of ignoring in that is how much Gabe Vincent can elevate elevate this team, man. I think you're
Oh my
underestimating.
god.
You're
Gabe
underestimating
Vincent
that.
can create Trey Young in the aggregate. Like if you just squint, you just look a little harder.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be there.
Oh man.
Oh
yeah, sure.
man.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about the Hawks.
Um,
There's a trade that we're not talking about that I think we need to talk about.
Go
That I
for it. Which
really,
one?
really
Which one do you
like.
have in your mind? Which
Ayo
one?
Dosunmu to the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Ayo
I am
Dosunmu to
so
the Timberwolves.
not even just the fact that they got Ayo, the fact that they got rid of Rob Dillingham, which I
Like, actually,
think is
like a
like
bottom
I think
five
that guy.
player in the NBA.
I think genuinely. I'm sorry, and obviously I may be wrong. I think he has no future in the NBA.
He
Rob
sucks.
Yeah.
Dillingham.
He's like a terrible.
yeah.
He's way too skinny. Like shot creation is like it's
He's
awful. He can't defend. Like
yeah,
the
he's just
Wizards are
way too small.
the Wolves are six. The offense rating is 6 points worse when he's on the court. Like
Yeah.
he's like and 15 points better when
I just
he's
want to
off it as
shout.
well.
I just want to shout out Ayo, man. I'm so happy for him. Not the fact that he's a Nigerian and all. It's also the fact that as one of those guards that everyone almost always likes that have been on the Bulls, it just seemed like he left. He did not stay so long where he just remained on that team. And I'm glad. I think this is a great move for the Timberwolves. He replaces what
Yeah.
Nikhil gave to them last season. And I think even he's more athletic, more like just a wrecking ball defensively, lot of energy. He fits what they are with Ant as their superstar. Like just as a team, he fits what they are. It still doesn't answer the question of their playmaking. Still, it doesn't. I don't think he answers that question. But off the bench, defensively and all, he can shoot threes. I don't know what his shooting percentage is this season and all. If someone can get that for me, but I like Ayo so
He's
much.
shooting 36%.
Yeah,
He's
I
shooting
like Ayo.
36%.
I really like Ayo Dosunmu so much. He can be in almost any lineup they have. This is not a
No,
player that you think that cannot, like he can be in any lineup they have. Like he can. I really really like this move, and I'm like the Wolves cooked with this one.
My bad.
Yeah.
He's shooting 45% from threes. But then at the same time, it's important to know that he shot 37, 31, 40, and 32. So 45 would be very much a career high. Is that
Yes.
sustainable?
Probably not.
I
He's
don't know.
probably at
But
Probably not.
36%. He's good he's good. He's good. He's a good
Yeah.
shoot. He's
Yeah,
good.
he's a good shooter.
He's,
Yeah, I
he's a
would
good
agree
They
shooter.
with that.
replaced a player that gave them nothing for
Nothing
an actual
for a
good player.
like again, sometimes you look at some of this transfer moves and you're just like,
Trades.
man,
Yeah.
can I see this guy in a game 7 in the second round? 1000% I can see him in a game 7 playing 25 minutes in a game 7. Like he's that good defensively and also really, really athletic, like a really, really athletic player that's he's just not going to he's not taking the ball from your best players. He's just going to play his role. If he gets one shot, he gets one shot. You get what I'm trying to say? And so
Yeah.
I like the move for the Wolves. I like the move for the Wolves.
Mm-hmm. I think staying on Chicago, who is actually
Oh,
like
boy.
looking at the rest of the trades here. Chicago is like around a bunch of them.
What are they doing?
We got
What are they
Vucevic
doing?
to
What are they
Boston.
doing? What are they doing in that
They're
franchise?
finally
they're-
tanking.
They're being. I think they're being Chicago. Like I think Chicago will do what Chicago does. Like it's gonna be one of the teams in the NBA. They're gonna
Guys,
be one of the
wait.
teams.
they have
They're gonna
Giddy.
be an NBA team.
They have Giddy as a guard, Anthony
Correct.
Simons as a guard, Trey Johnson as a
Correct.
guard, Colin Sexton as a
Correct.
guard, Isaac Okoro,
Correct.
who is a guard, pretty much. Jaden Ivey,
Yep.
6. Rob Dillingham. Like, what are they doing? What is this team? What is this team?
Yeah. They have.
You know what? You know what? I can't complain anymore. They have Yuki Karamura, man. I can't. That changes.
No,
everything
you want to
for me.
hear? You want to hear
That
a funny
changes everything
story,
for me.
bro? You
Yeah.
want to hear a funny story, bro? I was watching the Raptors Chicago game, and by the way, I fell asleep at halftime and I missed like the rest of the game. I was watching the game and my brother came downstairs and he's gotten more into basketball this year and all that, but he still doesn't know a lot of the players in the NBA and whatnot. He was looking and Yuki was on the court and he was like, "Who's number? I think he's number 7 or 8." He's like, "Who's number 7 on the court?" And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like looking at the Bulls. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's Yuki." And then he's like, "I thought that was a child on the court. I thought there was a kid on the court." And I'm like, I mean, yeah, he is
Respect
short.
Yuki, man. Respect Yuki, man. Respect
He,
you. You know
he
what?
is short.
The Bulls keep doing what you're doing. As far as you have Yuki on the team, keep doing what.
Just like one of the all-time rosters of all time. Just
Like,
in
what
one
is
third, they
this?
are certainly a team.
Yeah,
certainly
no,
a team.
that killed me so much.
You know what?
Cause
You know what? Actually, Daye, take that back. You know what? I'm sorry, man. I think they're doing something good. They have Mac
What are you
McClung.
doing?
Like this is they have
yeah,
my
they
guys.
got Mac McClung too.
They have Mac
I
McClung.
saw that
This is-
too.
this-
I
these are my-
couldn't
this-
believe it.
Listen, Mac McClung saved the dunk context. We have to respect him forever and ever. And if you have him on your squad, you can do whatever you want with squad building. Mac McClung is a good addition in the NBA. I hope he stays there. Keep going, Chicago. Keep going. You're doing well in this world. Sometimes it's not even about winning and losing. It's about doing right for humankind. And having Yuki on the squad and having Mac McClung on the squad it makes my heart melt. This is good for the human race. Keep on keep on going, Chicago.
Do you know what's like really, really funny to me?
What?
Do you guys remember that there's like there's a meme, I think it was Robin Lopez, who was like, "Am I the best player?" Like he looked around, he was like,
Oh yeah,
Am I the-
yeah, I see that.
bro, like Jalen Smith is looking around, is like, "Am I the second best player on the Bulls? Like, is that me? Like, am I the second best player on this on your 2025-2026 Chicago Bulls? Like, is that a
Man,
thing?"
Yeah, it's a very interesting team. They also
And you got-
traded Coby White for Colin Sexton. I don't know if you mentioned Colin Sexton.
Yes.
That's a great trade for the Hornets.
Hornets.
I am so in on the Hornets, bro. They have
That
had,
is-
I think,
that is
literally
the-
they've had the
no
best month
team-
in their history.
No team is more entertaining than the Hornets in the NBA. No, it's not even
Yeah.
close. There's no team
Yeah,
in the NBA that are close to.
and they beat the Rockets yesterday.
Is Daye doing the speed emote or some shit? Like,
Dog, I'm just like, it's not even like it's not even a Coby White thing. It's a Colin Sexton thing, bro. Good teams cannot wait to get away from Colin Sexton. They're just like, yo,
Why
Colin Sexton's
though?
on our team.
Why? I like Colin Sexton.
I think he was having a good season.
I think he's okay. I think he's all right. Like,
No,
like he's
man.
playing on the Cavs, playing on the Jazz, playing on the Hornets.
He was on Utah forever.
Nah, man. I genuinely feel like he's one of those players that I feel in a winning environment, like you are going to like. I think he's
like,
not a negative.
Sure, like I know I like
maybe
the
like
thing
on
is,
the
like,
Bulls.
it is like a bit crazy that like the second like teams want to get good, they're like
They want to get good. They trade. I feel bad. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. Like,
yeah, but at the same time,
yeah.
like if I get to get Coby White, who is like a better Colin Sexton, like I'm doing that.
Literally, the whole time
1000%.
I'm like, Coby White is just Colin Sexton but better, bro. Like it's exactly how I see them.
Yeah,
1000%.
So yeah, that's a win for them.
Vucevic
to Boston was interesting.
Vucevic to Boston. Sorry. Let's talk about that.
I have nothing to say. I mean, I think it's interesting. They had to pay Simons. They didn't want to pay Simons, and they have a big man other than Luka Garza and Neemias Queta, and
he fits. He fits what he fits. He fits.
He can shoot.
He can shoot. He can really shoot. So he fits the Joe Mazzulla style and everything. He's gonna be bombing 10 to 15 threes a game if he can. Like he fits. He fits that.
Yeah.
The one move I really like. Sorry, Daye. Sorry, Daye.
No. Trust me. It's like what's a one-liner. I'm just excited to see like Vucevic not be on a terrible team anymore.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Get some stench off of him. Yeah.
The one move I really like, and it was an underrated move, and I think this player just fits what this team is becoming. And again, sometimes you're not going to win on a high level in the NBA, but you can just be a good,
I know what it's going to be.
Hard playing team and all. I think you're probably gonna not get it, and especially with the try that this team have a creation, breaking down at least the first line of defense type of issues. I feel this player answers that need. He's not going to be good defensively for them, but they have some guys like for that. Cole Anthony to the Phoenix Suns. I like Cole Anthony to the Phoenix Suns.
I didn't even write that one down.
I do like Cole Anthony to Phoenix, and they also got Amir Coffey, who fits all the weird players they have. He fits the what's his name? What's the name of this guy? This former Utah Jazz guy that wears the headband. What's his name? Not Dylan Brooks, the other guy. They start at number 4 that starts at the 4 spots. I can't remember his name.
Is it like also Iguodaro? He didn't.
No. This guy, he was in Utah. Black guy.
Who was on Utah?
I can't remember. I don't know why I'm missing his name now.
Players. Royce O'Neal.
Royce O'Neal. Yeah. So I was trying to use like Amir Coffey just fits all the weird type of hard playing players they have. Goodwin, all the he fits that. But Cole Anthony just answers the question, the creation question. He can actually play make, even though he's a selfish player too. He's an actual selfish player, but he can play make. He can beat guys off the dribble and play make off that and all. I was like, okay, that's like for Phoenix Suns, that's a good move. That's a good move.
Yeah. I have no opinion. I forgot to even write that one down. Wait, which one did you think that was, Daye? Because I was thinking as well.
I thought it was Jose Alvarado getting out.
I was thinking that too. I think that's a really good move.
I think
Yabusele is really bro, I can't believe I put Yabusele in my like players I have stock in before the season. All he did was get fat. He didn't do anything over the fat.
That guy was just eating, bro. I'm sorry. Listen,
he hasn't done anything.
This podcast, we respect everyone and everything, but bro, you're a professional athlete, bro. Why are you this fat? Like he's got
the Kyle Lowry on him, bro. He's crazy,
bro. Man, I don't know what New York pizza spots he was going to and stuff like that, but he was just looking like he's just carrying a lot of weight. Damn. Yeah. I thought he was gonna be used, but Jose Alvarado, I think I really like that. I think that's a really good move for them. I really think that's a really good move for them and he can hit threes. He's gonna bring a lot of energy. He's a 15 minutes guy. Sometimes maybe you have injuries. You can play up to 20 minutes. That's just I think Also, I think Jose is from New York. I think he's also in New
Brooklyn,
York.
Brooklyn, yes, from
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn.
Yeah, he's from
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
from
Yeah,
Brooklyn,
yeah.
yeah.
He's going. Yeah, I think that the fans are going to love him too and everything. That's a good
Yeah,
one. That's a
I
good
can
one.
already imagine a playoff game where he hits like a clutch 3 and everyone is
And
going
everyone's going to,
crazy. Like
or
I see it
he gets the
so
blind,
clearly.
or he gets the blind still.
Yeah,
In
yeah. I
one,
think him in a winning team, I think he'll be able to bring some of that toughness and all that the
yes,
Knicks have just been really weird about this season.
yes, yes.
I think that was a great trade.
Do we have anything to say about
Yeah.
Do we have anything to say about two things? There are two things we need to talk about before we wrap up today. One, can someone explain to me what Rob Pelinka is doing? Daye, remember you sent me
There's
an
nothing to
article.
do.
No, I mean that in this NBA there's always something to do. I genuinely believe there's always something to do. Daye sent me an article sometime late last year about, I think it was you or Eugene, but it was about how the Los Angeles Lakers as a franchise is this incredible, one of the biggest brands in the world, but their front office acts like a Div 3 baseball team or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
and I
Yeah,
remember reading the
yeah.
article, and the article really explained like what is going on in around the front office. That's why Mark Walter coming in and firing people is not surprising. And you just look at this Rob Pelinka guy, and I've always had. It's not because obviously I've always had, because I'm a LeBron fan, so I've always had stock
Yeah.
in what the Lakers are doing. And ever since that off season where Caruso said, "I will come back for Chip," like he was like, "I'm not going to take market value of what I will come back for the pennies you guys are going to pay me." And this dude, he's uncreative. He has he just there's this utopia of the next season. We have cap space, we have cap room, we have never been. We're seeing teams make smart. You're seeing GMs make smart. Like Daye just explained, like how a GM call would probably have gone between Daryl Morey and Sam Presti, and you're seeing this creative ways, as I said, to just give your team a little margin. The Lakers cannot fix their problems or their issues in one transfer window. You need cycles. And you've had Luka Doncic for how many transfer windows? You had him in the trade deadline time in February. You didn't do anything.
I mean,
in the summer,
Yeah.
you barely did anything. Because I'm sorry, DeAndre 18. The only thing I liked about everything they did all summer was Marcus Smart. I think that's a guy to have in your locker room and play 15, 20 minutes to you, because he's the one player that doesn't need to be actuated by anyone. He's just going to be a wrecking ball, despite him not being physically his best anymore. And it's the third transfer cycle where you've not done anything, in my opinion, to improve your team. But we're going to wait. We have 60 million in cap room. We have 3 round picks, 3 draft round picks, and all of a sudden everything is going to be solved. You guys just, I don't want to get angry. Just tell me what this guy is doing, because I don't know what this guy is doing.
he's waiting for Giannis.
Oh God, man.
I don't know, man. I think there's
I
a
don't
couple of things here, not to even like be like a blanket defender. Firstly, like I've not been a big fan of like whatever this CBA is supposed to be, which feels a little bit restrictive in terms of the kind of things you can and can't do.
Yeah.
Where like, but then at the same time, like like I don't believe that's true at the same time, because teams like Phoenix, for example, has been incredible because they've been like last year, like the turnaround for Phoenix is insane, because last year
Yeah.
everybody was like, this is one of the worst run teams in the NBA. And it just goes to show that like if you have like a smart drawn up plan, good thinking, like the NBA is a marginal sport. The basketball rather is a marginal sport. If you can go out and like just if your seventh man is better than my seventh man, 9 out of 10 times, even if like forget like maybe not even 9 out of 10, maybe like 4 out of 10 times, you're already giving yourself a better chance than you do, because the kind of guys you have on your bench at any given time are just better. You have to have like the situation where you are setting yourself up to always win. I saw this tweet by one of the data analytic guys, where it's like they were really hammering the Hawks because like an NBA team needs to be in 2 states at any time. You need to be either contending or you need to be setting up to be contending. all this talk of like, we're doing this and we're doing that, it's nonsense. Pick acquisition and asset management is about putting yourself in a position to contend.
Mhm.
Everything else is outside noise. It's not real, and it's like an inadequate way to run a basketball franchise. If you are not looking to actively win, you are running your team wrongly. You need to be fired. Now, is that true of the Lakers? I don't know. I think one of the big things, and the elephant in the room that we just need to talk about is the LeBron situation.
Yeah.
That is a walking. He's 40 million in walking cap space. They don't know what they're going to do with the Austin Reeves deal this summer. Like because if I'm any team that has any kind of cap space, like I'm trying to get Austin Reeves off LA. Like yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
trying to do that in a real tangible way. And I think that without having any like that is a question that at some point they need to have an answer to. Like what are they going to do? Because I think Braun is going to retire as an LA Laker. I think it is almost a foregone conclusion. But LeBron is also a businessman. He's a billionaire. He's a person that has built a career and an empire out of like strategically putting himself in good situations. But the question is that the kind of guy that is going to take a pay cut? Number one, like we need to remember a few things. Number one, LeBron, while never a chairman of the NBA's Player Association, has has a storied history with one of the former presidents in Chris Paul. I do not think that it's ever going to be a situation in which he takes a pay cut.
I don't think
LeBron is
so.
going to always be exactly. I think he's always going to be the kind of guy that's going to be paid what he's owed. And I as a pro player person, I am completely
I
in
completely
lockstep with
understand.
him. I think he should.
The,
I
the
completely
living,
Yeah.
understand. I
the
think he
living,
should.
the living,
Especially his potential last year. Like,
the
do you
living,
Exactly.
want
the
the
living,
minimum or do you want 50
the living,
million?
the living standard of LeBron James is completely different from any other player.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
my last year is gonna get you guys bank. Is gonna
Yeah.
get you guys bank.
That's true. That's
Once I
true.
announce it's my last
Yeah.
year, all of you are going to freaking benefit from me. Pay me my money. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So if we consider all those different things, I think that this is a really hard roster to make like really good decisions on. Can we have a real conversation as to if this team could be better on the margins? Of course. I think that there are some real tangible moves that we can do here, but I think a lot of this is really easy to say when, as fans, because we don't understand the mechanics of an interior front office. There's only so much we can speculate and talk about here as to how these things get done. And
Yeah.
some of these things are easier or harder depending on who you are. The Lakers share a very huge distinction with Manchester United, Real Madrid, and many of the Yankees, like all these big franchises. When they pick up the phone and they call you, the asking price is about 125% more than any other team because you are dealing with the Lakers. The
Yeah.
Lakers have to pay more to get more. This is like, don't let anybody fool you. This is a real thing. It's the same thing in Boston. It's the same thing with the Patriots in American football.
Facts.
Big organizations and big franchises who have a storied history of doing things and where players want to be have to pay more. That is just the reality of the situation. It's just how it is a Lakers tax, whatever you want to call it. And I just think that at the same time, like in that article I sent you, like this is a team that is run like a mom and pop shop. It has been for a very long time. I think some of that just takes time. You need to upgrade infrastructure. You need to bring in the right people. You need to empower the right people. This is even like a very different point of view. This is not even a basketball point. I remember seeing an article, a tweet by Seb Staffenbloor, who is a journalist for the Athletic covering the German Bundesliga, who said that sometimes we get a little too caught up in who the sporting director, or in this instance, the GM is. They are as important as everybody that operates around them, which is why at a certain point in time, when a GM or a sporting director starts to look bad, we need to also consider what is going on around it.
Around
Has
him.
the infrastructure changed? Is everything the same? Rob Pelinka, for his credit, deserves a lot of it. Has been one of the better GMs in the NBA because basketball is about winning, and he won. We cannot understate that fact. 5 years, 5, 6 years, whatever it is now, he won. He
He
did
won.
the thing that matters the most in basketball. He won. Has he set up his teams on a consistent basis to be winners? Is a very questionable situation, or it's a questionable question. It's not a real thing, but anyways, I digress. So we can have like real conversations. I think that what I would like to see is this Dodgers ownership this is probably the best run team in all of baseball. Give him the proper quants analysis, the real statistical analysis, scouting team, um, allow people to be empowered in positions. I don't know how long that is going to take, but at least I do think he deserves a fair chance to get to see what that looks like. We need to see what it is post LeBron. We need to see how it is with the Luka era. I think the Luka era the Luka thing has made him bulletproof for basically as long as he wants to be until he does something just as stupid.
I think
Yeah.
How likely is that? Probably impossible. But I think that would be my overarching thoughts on that.
I think one of the things I would add is I failed to mention that article did point out at the fact that it's possible with what Daye is saying that the structure is also affecting him. The structure in place has been affecting him. So what happens when this structure is refurbished? Where this structure is people, because one of the things mentioned is there's lack of division of labor in the Lakers front office. What has been happening has been there's been lack of division of labor where other teams have a scout for this, a scout for this, and that, and everybody brings this table to their table to make decisions. There's not been that in the Lakers front office. Like you have on one of the Boss brothers, you have one of there was this person that was dating someone that was in the position and or married to someone in the position, and that person is doing two jobs, and pretty much there were lost lack of division of labor in this thing. So it's very possible what that is saying, and I've been a Pelinka critic, that the lack of infrastructure is also influencing his own work and all, right? So that's Daye has a point. Mark Walter might just come in and just be like, no, okay, let's give you every single thing you need. And maybe we see a better Rob Pelinka for that. And that's very possible. So I completely agree with everything Daye said. Completely agree.
Yeah.
And
No.
we may still get to the point where we realize that Rob Pelinka is not an adequate GM for the Los Angeles Lakers, and that can be perfectly fine. But it is fair to evaluate that point of view within good infrastructure, as opposed to whatever the hell that franchise has been for the last who knows how many years.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the LeBron point is really the big part of it as well, just because of how much money he takes up for this team, and it just kind of feels like the Luka era hasn't really started yet because they haven't really been able to build a team around Luka. They've had to build a team around Luka and LeBron, and that's not gonna happen. Like LeBron is gonna retire eventually, pretty soon, and he's not the same player he was even last year. So I think that it is difficult from a team building standpoint to build around him. There is one trade that I think we forgot: the Detroit Pistons getting Kevin Huerter and Chicago
Yes.
getting Jaden Ivey. That one, Detroit, is a bit disappointing for me. This is a team that I talked about in the last podcast or the other last podcast, whatever, where I'm like, your time is now.
Yes.
Like, I don't like your time is now. I think that however, Jaden Ivey felt like the odd man out. He's been injured. He hasn't been as well this season. I think they could have gotten more for him. I would have loved if they made a big move for like a Michael Porter Jr. or something like that, like some elite shooting and creation and stuff like that. Kevin Huerter is fine, but in this Eastern Conference this year, like the Pistons are clearly the best team and have a real chance to make the finals, and I think that they could have done more. So I'm a little bit disappointed in them. And then Chicago is a team that plays basketball, so they got another guard there.
Yeah. I think with that deal is just it's tough, man. Like it's being like so the only reason I will push back slightly, because I do agree with everything you've just said. The only thing that I think might have been going through that front office's head is, hey man, the East is gonna be a monster next season. Do we just want to keep a little bit of our powder in and just say, you know what, let's look, and I think it was Zach Lowe who pointed this out, or it was Bill Simmons, one of the two of them, maybe both, were pointing this out. Like, what would Sam Presti do? Would Sam Presti go out and get aggressive, or would he just say, you know, let's relax, let's look in house, let's figure out what we do have, let's figure out who is real, who isn't, and let's just like figure it out. Because I think that this is a really exciting roster. You have an all-star in Jalen Duren. You have an all-NBA player in Cade. You have an all-defensive DPOY real candidate in Usar Thompson. You have Beef Stew. You have Tobias Harris, who has been a leader for this franchise.
You have three guys that might win back-to-back defensive players of the month, even with Ryan Holland.
It is, and I think like one of the things that is scary is you don't want to have made the move too early. You don't want to have been the team that just about, because like if like I don't know, Giannis is not a realistic thing for them. I don't think it is, but you don't want to be the team that could have said, oh, like maybe you get a call from John Horst down the line, and it's like, oh yeah, if you had just had this asset, we may have just traded you Giannis. I'm not saying they're going to trade for Giannis. I'm not saying they could be a team to trade for Giannis. What I am saying is you don't want to. Sometimes I think the Memphis is a cautionary tale, especially in the 2020s, of standing pat and not making moves. But I do think at the same time there are real situations where you move too early and you miss out on opportunities. Or like the Raptors, for example. I'm big on Scotty. I'm big on Brandon Ingram. I think that there's a few like mistakes here that the Raptors may have just made that has now crippled what they can do long term. And I think that these are considerations that you need to make, especially with a confusing CBA that I think some teams are still genuinely trying to figure out how to circumnavigate. We saw a lot of teams dump assets in order to get under the tax. I think a lot of teams are really, really being very cautious. And I think that Detroit just said, you know what, we're still the best team in the conference. Let's see what this thing looks like next year, because Boston is going to be back. Indiana's going to be back. We're like every year is always a team that, you didn't see coming, and they're going to be back as well. So we're already talking about maybe 3 or 4, and I've not even talked about New York. I've not even talked about Orlando. So funny, it's not mentioned Orlando this entire podcast.
There's nothing to say about Orlando.
Anyway, boys.
But the point I'm making is that, yeah, the East is still a conference that is still going to have, like, I think, real teams next season. I think being a little conservative and just fixing yourself around the margins and setting yourself up for the playoffs was a smartish move. But if you get to the finals and you don't have enough, that's where you're not asking yourself the real question of should we have done more?
Yeah.
Hindsight is what it is. So
yeah. No, I think I saw somebody compare them to like the 2024 Thunder, which were the Thunder that lost to the Mavericks in the second round, and then they're like, let's get rid of Giddey and do that. And it's like, yeah, they can do that, but they had like one player that clearly stuck out, and then they also have an MVP on their team, so they were able to load up the next year and win. I'm not sure the Pistons have the same type of, future with Cade being a MVP candidate or anything like that. But there is some value in seeing how this team plays in the playoffs and then making moves based on that.
Completely agree.
Yeah, I think that's all the major trades. There are Ja Morant and Giannis, who did not get traded. If we want to mention about, I don't want to hear anything about Giannis for the rest of the year.
yeah, I'm tired. Yeah,
This guy pissed me off because he posted that stupid Wolf of Wall Street clip where he's like, I'm staying after this whole past week. It's like he's not. And then he became a stakeholder in Kalshi. Is that how you say it? Kalshi.
A prediction market.
Yeah, which feels like we are like, this is insider trading basically at this point, because like I think there was $23 million put on the Giannis. Will he leave? Will he not? And now he's a stakeholder in that, where he literally, like, anything he says and does can change the market.
It's not about this season. I think Giannis, this transfer, this cycle, and I want us to wrap this up pretty quick because I need to get out.
Yeah.
Giannis, he's gotten to the point where the same way with Kuminga, we got to a point where like we don't want to hear about this again. With Giannis, I love Giannis so much. This was the end of it. It's like no one is laughing with you. No one is smiling with you. No one is entertaining. If you want to leave, please leave. We don't want to hear it again. We don't want to be in this whole weird drama. The same thing will happen with Lillard too. Damian, after a couple transfer windows, I said transfer windows, I was just like, bro,
wrap it up.
Please,
and make your choice. Are you in or out?
Giannis this was a beloved character in the NBA coming up and everything. Now you're annoying. Now you're absolutely annoying, and we don't want to deal with annoying people. please go away. At least with James Harden and KD and all these guys and Kyrie, they know what they want and they go for it and they stand for it and they just they don't put us through the whole thing. Fans have a threshold, and we've all hit our threshold with Giannis and all. It's like, bro, like we don't even want to hear there's a trade because let's just hear you've been traded to this. Like we don't want to deal with this anymore. Bye.
100%.
Literally, I love him so much, but bye. We don't want to deal with this anymore.
And of course, we got to mention Trace Jackson Davis getting traded to the Toronto Raptors. 6'9" center, 6'9" center. We hate 7-footers.
That's my.
We don't want any 7-footers.
Is Richard McCain's on this podcast? Is like what's that meme? Hey, it's Richard McCain.
I know. It's
Sean McCain's like he's saying it's been. So we're out. Thank you for your time. Like,
thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for a great
time.
episode, Sam, Daye. This has been great, super fun. Thank you everybody for listening, for watching. Like, subscribe on the YouTube, on the TikToks, on the Instagram.
Thank you.
We have been pushing the pace, and peace.
Peace.